ignore if you see a dog in the background. I figured it would be a good time to start answering some questions from you guys. I did post a little Q&A on my Instagram. I posted it on my JEEPSHESOUL account and the Off-Road Babes account. I wanted to answer some of the questions that you guys asked. I do film on my phone, so I have them up on my computer here, so that way I can just read them off and answer them. So the first question was, where do you want to live? I personally would love to live near the beach, and hopefully it all works out in our favor coming this year. There is a move in our future, and my husband would like to live in Arizona. I have no desire to live in Arizona. We're always up for a move, we're always up for an adventure, so we never know where we're gonna end up. But right now, I think our target place to live is the beach. Menswear. I'm assuming you're asking for Orbo about menswear. My goal for Orbo was to make a women-targeted brand for off-roading women. There are a ton of off-roading man apparel companies and apparel companies that cater towards men. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do something that caters towards women. Now, I do have some designs in the shop that can be worn by men. There's no like, you have to be a woman to wear these. And there's unisex sizes and all of that. So if you absolutely want to buy something from Orbo and you're a guy, feel free to. But I'm not gonna have a menswear section. I'll have unisex, but not menswear, because it's not catered towards men. And if it was, it would be called Orgo, Off-Road Guys Official. And it's not, it's Off-Road Babes, because it's about the ladies. I won't be adding any menswear or anything like that, but if you see something that you like and you're a guy and there's a size for you, feel free to buy it. And like I said, there's unisex. How do I join the club? I'm also assuming you mean Orbo. We are not a club, we're not a group, we're not anything like that. We are an off-road brand who caters towards women empowerment. So in order to be in Orbo, all you have to do is post wearing the clothes and you'll probably get reposted. If not, I'll post you on the story. To be a BA, which answers another question, how do I become a BA? You do have to apply, and I have the application posted at the beginning of the year. And it'll be open for like the first week of the year. And then that's how you apply. So right now they are closed. I already picked the ambassadors for the year. So if you want to apply to be an ambassador next year, just be on the lookout for the application, because it'll be up and we'll be advertising it for like months, basically. I'll be like, hey, be on the lookout, and then once it's up, I will let you know every single day, the application's up, and then on the last day, I'll be like, today's the last day to apply. So if you want to apply, just keep a lookout for the ambassador application. So another question, I'm gonna answer all the Orbo related questions first, just because we'll keep it in this group and then I'll answer all the other questions afterwards. This one kind of goes towards Orbo. How did I learn design? So I'm actually not a design major. I was a sculpture major in college, and I don't know why I picked sculpture. I'm really good at ceramics, but that's not gonna be my career, and there's not really that much money in ceramics or sculpture. So I also learned design while I was in college, because in art school they teach you pretty much everything your first couple years, and then you can pick your concentration based off of what you excelled at. And I should have picked design, because I really do enjoy design. I just was like, oh, I'll do sculpture, because I liked sculpture and I liked welding and I liked woodworking and all of that, and I found my passion in ceramics. But with design, you use that in all of the art forms basically, because there's design elements and everything. We had to do 3D printing in sculpture, which is design. It all comes back to design, and it's something that I enjoyed a lot in college. And then when COVID happened, I lost my job. So I started doing digital design on my iPad, where I was drawing people's Jeeps for money, just so I could have some sort of income to pay my rent that month. Because with COVID, it was super difficult to make any type of money because I lost my job. So I started selling the Jeep drawings at the beginning of COVID. I've always done portrait drawings digitally for like couples and gifts and all of that. I've done the digital like portrait drawings for years. Like I've been doing that since college. Like just if someone needed a drawing and they wanted me to draw them, I would say, okay, I'll do it digitally, because it's much easier for me to do it that way because there's layers and it makes it easier to make sure it's accurate. I do all of my digital design on my iPad. I don't use my laptop because I'm not a fan of Illustrator. I took an Illustrator class in college and I hated it. I would go there and I would leave crying just because I was so frustrated with myself. So you won't find me using Illustrator. I do use a program called UDoodle. It's free in the App Store, and I have an Apple Pen. So I just free draw everything. And then if I need to like layer things, you can do that on the app as well. And if you need to like layer things or add a background to make sure your design is accurate and then take the background away, you can do that on the app. I know there's Procreate and all of that as well, but I'm not a big fan of Procreate because I never actually took the time to learn it. I've used UDoodle since the beginning of time, and I used to use it on my iPhone back in the day as well. So it's really just preference. I know how to use Illustrator, I'm just not a fan. That's how I learned design, and I had an idea. So when I wanted to start designing shirts and everything, I had no idea. I thought you had to like go on a website and tell them what you wanted and trust someone to make your design. And I really wanted to be in control of the designs that I made. So that's when I started just drawing them up or downloading fonts and figuring out how to like lay them over each other to make a different font, that kind of thing. And then that's when I learned how to transfer them to a vinyl cutter and make them a heat transfer and make my own shirts on the fly. So that's kind of how I learned design. I know there's like classes online as well that you can actually learn how to use Illustrator and all of that. I recommend doing that because I kind of wish I knew how, but I just don't have the patience for it. And I just stick to what I know. So the next question is, how can I get an Orbo decal, not the banner? So sometimes I do post the decals for sale on the site, and then sometimes I just send them with the orders, just depending on like if you spent a lot or whatever. I'll include some decals in there. And if you want a decal, just type it in on, if you order a banner, like I also want a decal that matches. So usually I don't do just like cut decals unless like you bought like a lot of stuff or I have a couple laying around, I'll throw them in the orders. The only type of like purchasing of a decal you can do is the banner right now. And if you want a decal with the banner, just type in the notes section, can I have blah 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 decal with this banner, and like put inches that you want the decal to be. Currently I'll do like sticker packs with my sticker guy if I get more than one. But it's kind of hard to just sell stickers like by itself, I feel like, because they really don't have that much worth to them. So I think it's easier to just throw them in with certain orders. And if you want one with your order, just type in, hey, can I get a decal? Don't DM me asking for a decal, because I will lose your DM and I will forget all about it. And I won't put two and two together, like your Instagram name with your real name on the website. So just type it in the notes saying, hey, can I get a decal? Because I'm not going to pay attention if you DM me and tell me, and then I'm going to ship it and then realize, oh, that was the same person and I didn't send one. So if you want one, just ask. And then if you want one like to match a banner, just type it in. But I don't really have them for sale on the site. But if you were like gonna go crazy with like a whole bunch of decals, just message me and we can arrange something. But as of right now, I don't have them for sale on the site. And if I do, it'll be in a sticker pack. So the next question is, what do you use to edit your photos? So I use a few different apps. It just really depends. I wish I could like show you guys like on my phone, but I'm recording on my phone. The first app is always Lightroom. I love Lightroom and I use it on my phone, not my computer. I know there's more settings on my computer, but again, I don't want to take the time to learn and I'm really used to it on my phone. I make all of my own presets, so basically if I'm having a specific theme of filter on my photos, I can just click it and then it's on all of the pictures. So that's like the main thing I use. And then obviously Facetune, if you need to like tweak something, or like if your eyes like slanted down a little and it like wasn't when you took the picture, you can like move it up and like that kind of thing. There is no shame in editing your pictures to how you want to be perceived. Everyone does it. If it makes you feel better about yourself, do it. I used to go really hard on it, like obnoxiously, but now I'm not as active on Facetune unless like I need to change like a color of something, or if there's a person in the background, you can remove the person, that kind of thing. I'm not very much into like changing my body anymore because I've learned to love myself more. But as far as like my face, like if you happen to like be blinking in a picture but like you can like make it work, Facetune's great for that. I don't recommend changing your whole body because it really does mess with your image of yourself. But I've gotten to the point where I actually am comfortable in my own skin, where I don't have to edit my body. So, but if you want to use that app for that, it is fully possible to do it. I'm just being transparent. And I know a lot of these girls on there, they use them too, and they're gonna lie and say they don't, but they do. So another question is, where do you get your clothes? I mean, where does everyone get their clothes? I get most of my clothes from like Ross or like Marshall's, TJ Maxx, like those kind of places. Sometimes Shein or Amazon, like if I need something like on the like specifics. But that's really it. I don't go to the mall or shop at one place. Like it's mostly like those like clearance stores. I don't know what Ross and TJ Maxx are classified as, but that's where I get most of my clothes. Actually, I did just buy the cutest shirt from Ross, so let me show you real quick because it is amazing. It's this like graphic tee that says off-road 4x4, do it in the dirt, and it has rigs on it, a Jeep. I don't even know, I wasn't even really looking. This looks like a Toyota, maybe a Bronco, a Land Cruiser, and a Jeep. I can't really tell. But look how cute it is. Oh, and it was only $8, and it's gonna look so cute with like some ripped jeans. Come through, Ross. But yeah, so most of my clothes come from Ross, or like this shirt is from like my friend's boutique. The next question is, how do you handle having a full-time job, Orbo, Instagram, hobbies, and life? So that is an amazing question. Basically, I just make time for the things that I want to do. And I know it's easier said than done, but you really do have to balance the things you want. So personally for me, I'm gonna open up with you guys just a little bit. I suffer from depression and anxiety, and I find that it is the worst and it comes up the most when I'm not busy. It's like during quarantine, I was not happy with, for instance, during quarantine, I was miserable because there was nothing for me to do. And when I'm lonely, bored, not doing anything, not actively doing a project or working on something, I get really depressed. So I have to stay busy or I will not be myself. I usually work 40 hours a week at the vet, and I have 2 to 3 days off a week depending on the week. Usually 1 day off during the week, and then always Sundays we have off. And then some days I do get off early, like at 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock. And so on the second half of the day, I'll dedicate that to Orbo. And then on my day off during the week, I dedicate to Orbo. And I can get a lot done in a full day with Orbo. And then for Instagram content, I do it in a different way than most people do. I will take 4 or 5 outfits and go to different locations, or even the same location, and just position the Jeep in a different way. Take the photos for the week, edit them that day, and then save them on my phone, and then have them to post that throughout the week and throughout the month. I've done this for a few months now, and it's helped me out a lot, because in the past I would have to like ask Carlos to come out with me and be like, let's go take some pictures real quick, and like take them as I go. and it's just more time efficient for me to do everything at one time. And then if we're doing something active, like going out and wheeling and stuff, I'll take pictures then, and then have those as well. So it really just depends on the scenario, but a lot of the times I'm bringing multiple outfits to take the pictures. And then same with Orbo, I'll bring the Orbo outfits as well and take pictures then to have for the site and all of that. As far as life goes, we moved here a year and a half ago, almost 2 years. I don't have that many friends here, and the friends that I do have are just as busy as I am, so we just make time to see each other. And then hobbies, I've kind of made all of my hobbies into a business in all retrospect. Makeup, I ask off usually for work for those because it's usually weddings on Saturdays, so I just put in a time off request and do those on Saturdays. I really just balance it. Like if I know that I'm gonna need off for a week to go to a Jeep event, I'll ask off 3 months in advance to make sure that I have that week off with PTO. And it's really all just kind of like fitting things in where I see fit. And then usually if I'm not done with something by, let's say I'll be working all day on something, if I'm not done by 8 p.m., I will stop right then at 8 p.m. and tell myself that I'll pick up on it the next day. So that way I have time to sit down, watch a TV show, watch TikTok, look at Instagram, all of that. And then I do get an hour lunch break at work, so I do a lot of my like responding to you guys on my lunch breaks and going to the post office, and then getting a bite to eat usually on my lunch break. I just kind of figure out like where everything fits, and it's just like a big life puzzle. So that question I really do appreciate. And I know a lot of people probably have the same problem where they're just trying to figure out how to balance things. I don't have children, I have bird children, and they're very low maintenance. They have a doggy door, so they take themselves out and just feed them and love on them at nighttime, and they live their best lives. They sleep all day and they're very lazy, as you can tell. So if I had kids, I probably would have to cut out like half of the things that I enjoy in life, which sucks, because I probably wouldn't have time for it. So that's why I'm not really interested in kids right now. Maybe one day down the road. But it's all about like making adjustments and finding time to fit things in that you care about. Because if at the end of the day, if you really care about something and you're really passionate about it, you will make time for it. The only thing I don't really have time for right now is working out. And that's because I'm not passionate about it. At one point in my life, I was super passionate about it. And at this point in my life, I'm okay and I eat healthy. And I do get my fitness in when I'm at work, because I have to manhandle 100-pound dogs and dogs that weigh more than me and cats who are like super crazy, and it gets your adrenaline going and you are burning calories when you're working there because it's very physical. I hope that answers that question. But really, you just have to find the balance at the end of the day. And for those things that you are super passionate about, you'll make time for it. So there are 2 more questions left. The first one being, how do you deal with drama and hate? That is a great question. So for me personally, I have found a way to turn off certain words and comments from being commented on my pictures, like fat, ugly, fake, like those like hate words. And I just don't tolerate it. So if someone comments something rude or hateful, I just block them. If it's a girl though, like if it's a man just being like insecure and commenting rude stuff on my pictures because he has like a hatred toward women, the trash man is outside. He comes every week. It's just a trash man. He's just a trash man. Okay. So if it's just like some man with like a hatred towards women who just like wants to comment something rude, I'll just block him. Or if it's like a fake account with like no profile picture and like 2 followers, I'll block it. If it's a girl, I will call her ass out in a minute. Like I will message her and be like, what's the issue? So if it's a girl throwing shade, even if it's a girl throwing shade at another girl, I will message her and call her out and ask her what her problem is in a minute. And then when it comes down to it, I'll block her too. But I'm all for standing up for yourself, especially when girls are just being mean. And I know a lot of girls online like to ignore it. I like to call them out because they need to know that they can't get away with it. That's how I deal with hate. And at the end of the day, I just end up blocking them so they can't continue. But I like to put my 2 cents in if it's a girl, just because girls hating on girls is, can you stop? It's okay. But if it's like a girl hating on a girl or a girl sending hate my way, like I will say something. I know people who are very vocal with how I respond to things, and they're like, oh, how do you think it's gonna reflect on your brand? So for me, I think advocating for yourself, standing up for yourself reflects amazingly on your brand. And at the end of the day, you choose how you respond to things, if you respond at all. And I'm just one who likes to stand up for myself and advocate for myself, because I never did that when I was in high school and a little bit like into like community college. I just let people walk all over me, and now knowing what I know and having the confidence that I've discovered for myself, I refuse to let anybody walk all over me. I refuse to let people talk to me how they want to. So at the end of the day, I always stand up for myself. So the last question is, I've heard a lot about Valkyrie. Can you tell me a little bit more? So Valkyrie is actually a Jeep club based out of Texas. And for those of you who don't know, I live in South Carolina. I've never been to Texas in my life. I would love to. I've made so many friends through Valkyrie who actually live in Texas, who have become better friends than people that I know here. So personally, my experience with Valkyrie has been amazing. I just joined Valkyrie last year, so not 2021, but like in the end of 2020, I was initiated into Valkyrie as a BA, and it's been an amazing experience. And even before then, I was friends with a lot of the Valkyrie girls, and I wasn't a BA, I didn't have a banner, wasn't in the club or whatever. I wasn't even on the Facebook page. Like, I was just friends with a bunch of the Valkyrie girls through Instagram. So even then, and from an outside perspective, I thought those girls were so cool, so down to earth, so nice, and I wanted to join because of that. And so once I reached out to Sarah and I was like, hey, like, can I join? And she was like, sure, here's the application. And she let me join, and then they did like an official application after that, and then I had to redo that. And so then now we are where we are today, and we're actually super close. And Valkyrie, I like to consider, is one of Orbo's like sisters, because we share a lot of the same BAs, we share a lot of the same supporters, and we're in the same industry. So Valkyrie is an awesome group of girls. You don't have to be a BA to be in Valkyrie. They have a Facebook page, and you can always buy a banner. You can always buy the gear online. And Sarah is actually coming to Jeep Beach, and she's gonna be helping out with the Orbo booth. It's been like an amazing experience for me to be with Valkyrie, and I've met nothing but amazing girls on there, and it's such a great community, and girls supporting girls. I mean, a perfect example, Sarah supports me, I support her. Our companies kind of like intertwine with each other, and we bounce ideas off each other. It's a great little close-knit group of people, and I don't even mean little by like it's small, because it is in fact not small. It is growing so fast, and I'm so proud of her, and I'm so proud of Valkyrie, and I'm proud to be in the club, even though I've never even been to Texas. And maybe one day I will, and then I do know I'm gonna be meeting a bunch of them at Jeep Beach, so I'm looking forward to it. But that's really all I have for you guys today with the questions. If you have more questions, maybe I'll do another one in the future. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great morning, night, day, wherever you are watching from. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This one really wasn't a vlog, but I don't know, I thought it'd be fun. So that is all I have for you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.